The Life of Carl Jung by Isabella Lopez. A little introduction about him. Carl Jung was born in Kessel, Switzerland, July 26, 1875. He is the son of a Reformed Protestant pastor, Jonah Paul Jung, and Emily Presswick. From 1900s to 1909, Jung works at the Burslik Mental Hospital in Zurich. He entered Basel University to study science and medicine in 1895. In 1900, Jung graduated with a master's degree from the University of Basel and is appointed assistant at the Burslik Psychiatric Hospital, Zurich, under Professor Eugene Buehler. In 1902, Jung gets his PhD at the University of Zurich with a doctoral dissertation on the psychology and pathology of so-called occult pneumonia. In 1903, he marries Emma Rosenberg, and over the course of time, they end up having 5 children. And of major world events that happened during his lifetime. In 1914 to 1918, World War I happened, and during this time, Jung served as a medical officer, and he continued his psychological exploration. In 1917, the revolution happened, and in 1929, the Great Depression began. 1939 to 1945, World War II happened, and during this time, Jung played as a psychological advisory role, and he continued writing and practicing in Switzerland. In 1949, NATO was established. In 1950 to 1951, it was the rise of Cold War tensions, nuclear activity, nuclear anxiety, and the growth of psychology as a discipline, and he later published Aeon Researches in the Phenomenology of the Self. Jung's model of the psych. Jung defines the psych as the human mind with both conscious and unconscious. He believed that the psych seeks a wholeness through self-discovery and balance, guiding a personal growth of oneself and understanding. There's ego, personal unconscious, and collective unconscious. According to Jung, the ego represents the conscious mind as it comprises the thoughts, memories, and the emotions a person is aware of. This is largely responsible for feelings of identity and continuity. This stage gives you the sense of self as you are interacting with your environment and giving you an awareness of how you fit into the world, and by helping you maintain your personal story about yourself over time. For personal unconsciousness. According to Jung, he argued that this only represents a small portion of your total psyche. This stage contains your hidden fears, desires, dreams, and deeper aspects of your personality. This is where your repressed thoughts and emotions reside, subtly shaping behaviors, dreams, and choices beneath your conscious awareness. Collective unconsciousness, and in this stage, Jung refers to a deeper layer of the unconscious mind shared by all the human beings. The collective unconsciousness is universal and inherited, where it contains instincts, patterns, images, and themes that are common across all cultures. This influences our behaviors, dreams, and myths, which help shape how we understand the world, connect with others, and experience life around us. Jung's archetypes. You have the persona, the anima, the shadow, and the self. The persona is the outward face that we present to the world. We conceal our real self, and Jung describes it as conformity. This is the aspect of a personality that we present to the world as a means of social adaptation and personal convenience. This is shaped during childhood and driven by the need to conform to the expectations of parents, teachers, and your peers around us. The anima/animus is the mirror image of our biological sex, that is the unconscious feminine side in males and the masculine tendencies in women. This exists in the unconscious as counterbalance to a person's conscious sexual identity. The anima and animus represents our otherness, connecting the ego to the broader psyche, which is forming bridges to the unconscious mind. The shadow is a part of ourselves that we may reject, disown, or not even recognize. This provides depth and balance to our personality, reflecting the principle that every aspect of one's personality has a compensatory counterpart. The self provides a sense of unity and experience. Jung states that the aim of every individual is to achieve a state of selfhood, and in this respect, Jung is moving in the direction of a more humanistic orientation. His psychological types. We have thinking versus feeling, which is How people make your decisions. With thinking, people make decisions based on logic and objective consideration. They put time into this. With feeling, people make decisions that are based on subjective and personal values. Next one is sensing versus initiation. This is how people are perceiving or gathering their information. With sensing, people are focusing on present details, facts, and realities. With intuitive, people are focusing on possibilities and a future potential. Next, we have extroversion versus introversion. This is where people derive their energy from. Extroverts are focused on the outer world, and they tend to be more outgoing and social. Introverts are more oriented with the inner world, and they tend to be quiet and reserved to themselves. His published books. In 1912, he published Psychology of the Unconscious. In 1913 and 1930, he begins working on the Red Book, and it didn't later publish until 2009. In 1921, he published Psychological Types. In 1939, he published Psychological Aspects of the Personality. In 1944, he publishes Psychology and Alchemy. In 1951, he publishes Aeon Researches in the Phenomenology of the Self. In 1957, he's writing his autobiography, Memories, Dreams, and Reflections. And in 1959, the Archetypes in the Collective Unconsciousness is getting published. Conclusion. His theories have made a major impact when it comes to psychology, and they continue to influence the field. His ideas within collective unconscious and archetypes have helped shape our understanding of the human nature. He died June 6, 1961, at his home in Kuznets, Switzerland. These are my references.